Hi, welcome to this first part of the three-part tutorial on 3D printing. In this first part, I'll be teaching you an overview of the tools you need and the first dive into the technical matters that you need to know before you can 3D print something. 3D printing, you can 3D print something you downloaded from the internet, but this workshop is about creating your own content. For this you need to have tools installed, and if you go to 123dapp.com you can have 123D Design and meshmixer. These two tools, 123D Design and meshmixer, you need to install on your machine. I'm going to start with 123D Design. If you have this installed and start the application, you'll have this view. You can zoom in and out using the middle mouse button. You can rotate around a point in space with the right mouse button, and you can pan around by pressing the middle mouse button and moving it around. Okay, these are basic stuff. This is in every 3D application. You need to know how to do this. So I'm gonna just press here to go to the upper bar here and look at the primitives with the pointer mouse at primitives, and then select the box. We're gonna insert a simple box in there. Just click it and it's there. It's always placed on the grid, so that's very nice. I can also place a sphere and put it snaps to the faces of the primitive it was there before. So I can just put it in there, snap as well. So I'm showing you how to do this because I want to explain something about overhangs. And because an overhang is not 3D printable. A 3D printer always prints on, it needs to have something to print on. That's a concept I want to explain to you by generating a overhang on this object. First, I need to tell you something about orbit. Just go to the right and click orbit and then press this face here. If I now, oh no, it didn't work. Orbit, here we go, there. If I now press the right mouse button, I'm orbiting around that face I selected because that's what I need. I want to build a sketch here. A sketch is a 3D object, a 2D object, and I want to go to the sketch rectangle, sketch, and then a rectangle. I want to click to select the sketch. Yeah, click the face I want to put the sketch on. I want to put it on this face. Click. Now it says click the first point of the rectangle. Okay, let's put it there. Click the second point. And as you can see, I can move around and it changes the dimensions. You can just type in a value and press tab to go to the other value. So, but I want to do it visually now, so I just press it, click it here, click, and then I can exit this mode here, or I can I can press enter to finish the operation. So I'm gonna press enter now. Now I want to extrude this. How can I do that? I can go to here to this button here, and then go to extrude. I clicked it, and now I can select the 2D face and I can pull it out. And then to finish the operation, either enter or left click on outside the object. Click, there it is. Okay, now we have a nice overhang here. As you can see, there's no material here underneath. So I want to 3D print this. Okay, I'm going to go in a lot more detail about 123D Design and how you can build stuff, but now I just want to 3D. I want to show you a first iteration on how you can do this. I can go to this menu here and then 3D print. If all is well and you have Autodesk meshmixer installed, you'll get this view of your object. Okay, it did some rotation here. That's okay because the ball is not on top anymore, but it doesn't really matter. I want to go to modify. So click modify. Yes, I want to leave this view, and here I can go to analysis. And I want to analyze using the inspector for problems. And if I would have any problems inside the model itself, like, yeah, these are problems the 3D printer cannot cope with, it would detect them here, but it doesn't have any problem. You can just press auto repair all and then done. Okay, let's put layout and packing. Let's press that. And the object browser here, you can hide. This is the object browser. It has these different objects. You can just view and then hide object browser, so I have more, I can see more in the scene. Okay, layout packing, it already did this, so let's do that again. Except, okay, so it put it on the bed as best as it could. So now we want to have overhangs, and it detects the fact that we have this overhang problem here, and I can just use the custom settings. I'll just leave it at that and then generate support. And now if I would let me just view objects browser here, I deselected it but now you can see better what I mean. So just pan around and look at this problem here. So this is being built. This is due to the overhang. What you see here, this is due to the overhang of, this is called an overhang. So a 3D printer needs this material, it needs to print on something. So this is what it did. This is what meshmixer made in order to have this 3D printed. It already was clever enough to put this ball also on the print bed. So that already worked. And this is called this is called support material from the 3D printer. If it comes out, if this is printed on a 3D printer, you need to break all this support material off. So, and what happens is if you use the normal support material generator from a normal 3D printer, it'll do a lot more material than it would use if you just use this support material. You'll get a hang of it once you print your own little thing yourself. What we need to do now is go to print and valid supports, model repaired, and now I can print it using my Shapeways view here, because I can print it on my own printer. I can set up my own printer here, but you can also print it at Shapeways. And what's very nice here is that you can then choose how much it would cost. So normal plastic, you've got two kinds of plastic, ABS and PLA for home printers, but Shapeways has different materials, a lot of different materials. It has, for instance, gold. It has, for instance, what have we here? Platinum, silver, rose gold, and different types of gold. It has a lot of materials. You can just, for instance, polish bronze. Suppose I want to have this polished bronze. It costs me $241. It auto-scaled as well because there's a minimum size to print something in polished bronze. All right. I'll teach you more tricks because this stuff here is solid. You can make it hollow, so it doesn't cost, because this whole thing is bronze. You can make it hollow, and then it will cost less. So that's a very important tip to use if you want to order something at Shapeways. But I'm going to talk more about that in the next lessons. This is the first thing you built, and you got it using meshmixer. You can send it out to print, or you can print it at your own printer. For instance, a Dremel 3D ID builder, for instance. Suppose you have that printer, then you can just press print, send to Dremel 3D, and then it just starts printing. If you have a printer that is not supported, you can build your own custom printer here. Sample printer, you can just add the printer properties. For instance, does it print, for instance, doesn't print ABS. ABS and PLA are the two main options for home printers. I should tell more about that. ABS is about, it's not environment friendly. It's plastic, real plastic. It's Lego plastic actually, and it melts at 270 degrees. And the PLA is much more environment friendly. It's still plastic, sort of, but it's made out of corn as well. And that's why we use PLA. It has different properties, different melting points. But I only want to print a PLA, for instance, then I won't choose ABS white. And then it's an extrusion printer. You can also change the technology there. And then you can have different properties here. But you can, if you have this applied to your printer, you can export as an STL. So now you can export this whole thing, including support, as an STL to your project, and then you can import it into your own 3D printer software. Every 3D printer has their own 3D printer software supplied with it, and then you can import it, and then you need to print it without generating support. That's a very important constraint. You need, because you already generated the support in this. Here, I'll do it again. Here we have it. It generated the support based upon this orientation as well. So you don't need to go to modify. You can do it right from this scene, and then export, and then 3D print it. Okay, we'll get into a lot more detail in the next iteration. See you there.